Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good evening everyone. Today, me from Group 5 and also my friend would like to present our topic today about source of error in analysis. Before we start, I would like to say if this topic is the most topic that I really like. Because when we talking about error, I'm feeling like this is like me. So that's why I really like about the topic source of error. Okay, can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, great. The first one is about the introduction. Kok banyak banget, Jo? Apa? Okay, lexically error on the hand means something is incorrectly done through a wrong way. It defies a lack of a competence in the language learner. Okay, the first one, the source of error that we already mentioned in our topic today is the first one is interlingual transfer, and the second one is intralingual transfers, and the third one context of learning, and the fourth is communication strategies. Studying the source of errors in English language learning is very important. By understanding the source of error, teacher can develop more effective teaching strategies while student can become more aware of their own learning process. So this material will be help us when we find our student have a lack of incompetences in some subjects, and we can know what should we do to fix it. Okay, the first one is interlingual transfer. In the last week, we already, Mr. Adil already explained about us about the interlingual transfers, but in a short term maybe. But for me, I can't get it anything from that. So today, because this interlingual transfers becomes my topic, I would maybe could be explain or give some share material to all of you in this class. Interlingual errors occur as a result of negative transfer from the learner's first language L1 to the target language. In Indonesian EFL context, such error can arise because learner directly translate Indonesian sentence structure into English. So you can give some headline in L2. This is interlingual transfer. It causes about when you like usually using Indonesians as your daily language, and you try to absorb or acquisitions another language, you might be getting some struggle about the structures or the grammatical structures. For example, we have in here sentence like she very beautiful or I have 70 years clearly reflects L1 interference. If we like looking about the sentence structures is more like Indonesian structure language than an English structure, where Indonesian grammatical patterns are transferred into English. That's Corder and Richards in 1971 explained about. Emphasize that this error indicates learner reliance on existing linguistic habit from their native language when forming L2 structures. So, we can conclude that if the interlingual transfers is due because of the L1 trying to absorb the L2. Okay, the next one is intralingual transfer. Yeah. Interlingual errors are those that result from the learner's incomplete or partial understanding of the target language system itself, rather than interference from the mother tongue. Richard in 1971 identifies several subcategories of the interlingual errors, including overgeneralization, ignorance of rule restriction, incomplete application of rule, false concept hypothesis, and hypercorrection and simplification. This inter is which mean Indonesian is in it because of the first language, and intra causes of the second language. That's you can make it as your headline. So the first one, an interlingual transfer have like a subcategory, but in here we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 category. The first one is overgeneralization. Happens when learner apply when grammatical rule too broadly, such as saying he can swim, or I go to school. What it's mean, like student already know if we want to say something like in directly or present, they should to put s on the verbs, but it can be used in all terms. So this is happen over generalization. Okay, guys. And the second one is ignorance of rule restrictions. Occurs when learners know a rule, he know a rule, but fail to recognize its limitation as in she doesn't go to school. Yeah, she. In this case, the does, if we using does, you not to put the es again in the verbs. The third one is incomplete applications of rule result from applying grammar partially. For example, she beautiful instead of she is beautiful. Yeah, again, the next one is a false of concept hypothesis. Refers to misconceptions about how grammar works, such as a thinking past tense only applied with yesterday, leading to last week I go to Bali. I mean, like last week I go to Bali. It is a form of a past tense. So when we want to say something in the past, we should to make the first one is become to the verbs too. Like last week I went to Bali, not to go to Bali. But because a student have a limitations of the grammatical rule, they only know if something that change the verbs the change with second terms is only when there is ada yesterday lah gitu. The five is hypercorrection arises when learner over apply rules in attempt to avoid mistake. I'm a student. It's like I mean like these terms hypercorrection arise. They learning about a lot of things of how to use the grammatical rules, but like they thinking, okay, I don't want to make a false, so I just put it in here and put it in here, but it's not correct also. And the last one is simplifications reflect Lear. Okay, that's all the topic that explained by me. The next one is who explained it? Huh? And the next material will be explained by Rahma. Time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Alifia Nadindra. And this is still in source of error. There is a context of learning. The learner is misled by the way in which the language is presented or by a faulty explanation from the teacher. It's Best Corder 1967. So it is also called teacher industry of pedagogical errors arise from the learning process itself, especially when the teacher's explanations, example, or material are unclear or misleading. And then there is a communication strategies. Communication strategy errors occur when learners consciously attempt to compensate for linguistic limitation in order to keep communication flowing. Unlike intralingual errors, there are not purely cognitive but strategic responses to gaps in knowledge. It Beth Taron in 1980. For instance, learner may say the thing for cut paper instead of scissors, or use make homework instead of do homework. Next slide, please. Oh, wait. Next slide. Okay, thank you. And there is a comparison of error. There is a comparison between, interlingual errors and intralingual errors. From the definitions is interlingual errors, definition is error caused by negative transfer from the first language or L1, and interlingual is error that stem from the learner's incomplete understanding of the target language or L2. And source of error by interlingual is influence from the learner native language. and interlingual misapplication or overgeneralization of rules within L2. And this is common example. For the example in interlingual errors is she very beautiful, influenced by L1. Indonesia doesn't require to be. And interlingual is he can swim. Overgeneralization of adding s in third person singular. And for the classroom example, interlingual can use Indonesian learners says, I have 17 years, from saya berumur 17 tahun. And for interlingual errors, learners writes good, good, as the past tense of go. It applying regular past tense rule. And then for pedagogical strategy, interlingual using explicitly contrast L1 and L2 for grammar or structure. And interlingual practice L2 grammar contextually and provide varied input. Journal reference. Interlingual using us. Okay, for journal, sorry, wait. Belum selesai. For journal reference, interlingual using Richards 1971 and interlingual using Selinker 1972. Okay, next slide please. And this is a still comparison of error, but this between context of learning errors and communication strategy errors. For the definition, as I said, context of learning is caused by wrong input, misleading explanation, or ineffective teaching method that mislead learners during the learning process. And for communication strategy is because appear when learners consciously use compensatory strategies to maintain communication despite limited linguistic knowledge. Source of error, context of learning is incorrect, such as incorrect modeling, unclear instruction, or inaccurate examples provided by teachers or textbook. And for communication strategy, it's learner attempts to express meaning when lacking vocabulary or grammar knowledge. And for common example, for context of learning, for example, is teacher teaches much apples. Students repeat it in writing. And for communication, students say the thing for cut paper instead of scissor. Classroom example, students imitate teachers from example or mislearn due to confusing material. And for communication strategy, students substitute or simplify expression to avoid communication breakdown. For example, make the homework instead of do the homework. Pedagogical strategy, context of learning is ensure accurate contextual teaching input, use consistent correction, provide authentic models of English use. And for the communication strategy, teach learner effective communication strategies such as paraphrasing, asking for clarification, or using gesture. Next slide, please. Okay, so this slide is dominance of error source in EFL, English as a foreign language learning in Indonesian and their implication for teaching. The two main sources of errors in English learning in Indonesia are interlingual transfer, the influence of Indonesian, and interlingual transfer, and imperfect understanding of English rules. Interlingual errors arise from direct translation from Indonesian to English, such as she very beautiful or I have 17 years old. Interlingual errors are caused by overgeneralization rules, such as the children eat the candy. Oh, caused by overgeneralization of grammatical rules, such as the children eat the candy or the weather is too hot for me to go out. And for the research is Winnie 2020 shows that 62% of errors are caused by overgeneralization and 27% by the influence of the first language or L1. Furthermore, the teaching context also plays a role. Inappropriate teacher explanation can lead to context of learning errors based on James 2013. Next. And there is still dominance of error source in EFL. But implication for teaching. Teachers need not only to correct errors but also to analyze their causes. Understanding the source of error helps teachers adapt strategies such as contextual grammar teaching, like comparing Indonesian and English or exposure to authentic English material, or it can be also communicative activities for natural grammar application. With this approach, students can internalize English patterns more accurately and reduce reliance on Indonesian language structure. And the next slide will be read by Siti Johra Ismail. Times and place is yours. Thank you.
How long how long we are as a teacher realize the source of the error for our student? Yeah, how long?
Okay, guys, our answer roughly questions is about apakah error analysis ini bisa digunakan untuk hal konteks lain selain for me setiap things in this world is maybe we can find some what can make example is like ada ever buy stock. Ada yang tahu stock? Stock ya, STOCK. Stock. Itu dia. Ya kayak dalam kita melakukan pembelian suatu saham kan ada yang kita harus melihat analisa transaksi atau analisa fundamental suatu perusahaan. Ya, misal dikategorikan begini teman-teman. Jika harga suatu harganya 5.000, tapi dalam waktu 1 tahun keuntungan yang bisa dihasilkan itu cuma 2. Itu kan there is miscorrections of price. And the earning per ratio a year error of price. Example is kalau dalam dunia digital printing kita bisa melihat koreksi dalam suatu warna. Hal gampangnya adalah teman-teman pernah enggak kalau terima kasih.
Ini sebenarnya dalam pertanyaan dalam error analysis dalam konteks pattern border ya, jadi dalam arti linguistik. Kalau yang dijelaskan Pak Ali itu tadi, oke, mungkin kita pakai border perusahaan, oke, mungkin RGB bisa membuat ungu, oke, tapi itu kan tidak error analysis, tapi kita kan berpelajari masuk dalam konteks linguistik.
Tadi tanya katanya apa aja? Iya.
plan order kan?
Ya.
Nah, jadi tolong dipersepsikan di luar ini adalah musik.
Di luar teaching, di dalam pembelajaran, tapi masih di dalam konteks linguistik.
Sebuah linguistik itu kan pembelajarannya, mau fonologi, mau
Sosiolinguistik.
ya semua kan proses pembelajaran.
Itu yang gue inget itu doang tuh.
It's not only about linguistic but also country. So in countercultural like in Japanese talking like non-Japanese, they will some incorrect phrase or incorrect will correct the people. So it's not only in education but also in business or some things like that. Yes, thank you. Sorry.
Jadi gini teman-teman. Negara intralingual ini. Ini karena strukturnya Semoga menjawab. Semoga menjawab. Ya. Next question. Itu tadi siapa?
Itu about listening, speaking, atau grammar. Kalau misalnya speaking, kita bisa correct, tapi nggak langsung secara langsung, tapi misalnya dalam satu kita coba kamu kalau grammar juga sama, bisa langsung dikoreksi ya. The next itu yang punya.
Siapa? Biasa kalau peer correction kan, ya reformulation gampangnya pas UTS lah, atau nggak setelah akhir ulangan kan kita ada. Pasti udah pernah sekolah lah. Ada ketika kita dipanggil, dikasih ditanyakan nih, kenapa setiap bagian ini kamu salah. Nah beginilah caranya, bla 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 bla. Nah disitulah feedback itu masuk teman-teman. Dan yang menurutku ya, yang paling apa ya, paling oke, mungkin paling kena yang di peer. Karena kadang di sini mungkin di the metode dan kita pilih secara lebih sering lah. Cuman takut juga hati-hati, nanti jadinya blind leads blind. Karena kan belum tentu seperti pintar juga.
Interlingual error or intralingual error, or is it context of learning error atau communication strategy? Nah, misalnya dalam proses pembelajaran siswanya bilang she beautiful, itu kan sebenarnya dari bahasa pertamanya ya, karena kan
Ya cantik.
kalau